In this session, we're going to talk about InQuest. InQuest is the AI engine, AI product behind InQI. Think of InQI as a platform that has all sort of data in it for a given project. A given project is an address, right? So this address is in Saratoga, California. And basically within that project, we discussed already in one of the sessions that you could have pictures and, clearly have the site plan, you have pictures, you have project binder where you're putting all kind of information you're generating or you collect it in there. Now, the reason we're doing that is because we have a lot of information in the system, and every time a piece of information comes into the system, AI engine starts learning from it. For example, we have a bunch of designs in here. If you go here, you notice there are layouts, there are planting plans, number of different planting plans. So it is where we collected and designed all the various things, right? So that's that part. So whenever you are in any place in a project, it's like, oh, how many plants were there? So you can go and ask InQuest. You notice that because the project is full open, you have the project binder selected. So you can go in and ask any question that you wish to have. So I'll ask in how many plants are in the planting plan. So basically, it will go in and start looking at finding out what's the latest. What do you have? You don't have to go open this file, read this file, and all that. It is finding everything about it by simply you asking the question. There it goes in a couple of seconds. So you found the most recent and detailed planting list for the project, blah, 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 in Saratoga. You found the date on it. It actually read all the information about it and kind of extracted it, did a takeoff, and basically give all the information about that process. You can now ask it further questions if you wish to do so. For example, what are the water usage of these plants? In California, that's an important question to ask. Within a few seconds, the system will go and figure out the planting plan, figure out local classifications, figure out all the details of every plant that you have used, puts a summary table in, and basically give you all the information that will probably take you hours to find. This is the value of InQI. Everything is available, everything is understood by the AI engine, and the AI engine can help you as an agent, as a helper, as a co-pilot, to get information that are relevant to your project. For example, you could ask, what are the setbacks for this property? That's a common question to ask. So we can ask, what are the setbacks for this property? Right. So we're going to ask that question. And as we ask the question, understand that now it's going to try to find relevant information, not only locally, but also available public information as well. You will notice after a few seconds of thinking, it will basically come up and say, I know who you are. You are on zone R1. This is your zoning. These are the setbacks that I found out. It basically puts all the information for you. Everything has to be verified and validated, of course. But it has all the information basically based on the location of this property. This is basically everything you need to know, a research assistant, at your fingertip that can do all of this work. Another use of this is try to find various pricing methods that you want to find. Now, for that, you might be going in and say, how much does this planting will cost me, right? Let's try that. Let's find out if it can tell us what the cost of this is. How much does it cost to build this planting plant? Right? You're simply asking the question. Now, this will use local information that you might have previously and also public information, and provide you some relevant information feedback. As it finds the information, it provides you all kind of information about it, right? So it basically comes up and says, basically, I'm looking at the plant, and these are the plant materials. It knows various reports that you might have, and basically comes up and says, what I'm looking at, the cost is going to be around this much, right? They build the cost for you. Now, everything has to be verified, right? Obviously you have to be cautious about these things, but it has all the relevant information that it can provide you an estimated cost based on the local information and also the information you have provided that. That is the value of it. Now, this information this is at the project level, obviously, but there's also things that we can do at the reference level, before you even start designing the process. So if you are at the account level and you ask InQI a question, ask InQuest. Now you notice that when you ask InQuest a question, basically now you no longer have a project level selected, right? There's no project here. The reason for it is that we don't have a project open. We're at the reference level, at the account level. Now here is where you can ask all kind of questions before you start. Maybe your client is asking you to develop some kind of a retaining walls, right? So you can say, how much does it cost per linear foot for retaining walls, right? Maybe that's something that you want to do. So you simply ask that question. Basically, after you do the question, it will go in and start finding information about it. So for example, it found information about in the proposals that we had this account here, we'll talk about it. You found all the information that we have relevant and we'll put the information at our fingertip. This is an important part of it because now I can go in and say, oh yeah, for the past 10 projects, I have collected all my cost data and, I'm a builder or I'm a designer and so forth. And as I put them in, these are real information about, what we have done in these projects. So now all I have to do is ask a question, how much does a retaining wall cost? And it will bring it up, right? It will bring up with details of what's going to be. Now I can go and as I'm designing, can say, oh yeah, if it's a 3 feet high retaining wall, it's going to cost about $273 a linear foot. In my case, because I have this information here. So this is the enablement so I can design to the budget. There's a whole lot more InQuest can do. Think of it as your friend, your designer, your research assistant. As long as you have the information somewhere, you will find it. And that somewhere could be local, could be public, and information elsewhere.